Hi, I'm David with Arizona MMC, the state's premier medical marijuana certification office. Today I'm out at the Scottsdale Quarter, which is a beautiful development here in North Scottsdale. It has great shopping, restaurants, and retail, such as the Apple Store, H&M. You have a great steakhouse that opened recently called Dominic's, and the like. It was built, as I understand it, in response to Kierland, which is directly across the street here, but they pay Phoenix sales tax revenues, and Scottsdale wanted a piece of the action. So in response to that, right in the heart of the recession, they built the Scottsdale Quarter, which is doing quite well. The topic for today is the February installment of the 2012 Arizona Medical Marijuana Update. So here's where we stand, and things are actually looking much better. They're looking up for Arizona medical marijuana. As of a few weeks ago, a federal judge in Arizona threw out the lawsuit from Arizona versus the Department of Justice. That lawsuit was filed 6-8 months ago, and the governor said that she wanted clarification of the state with regards to state workers processing the dispensary applications. The government federally never said they were going to prosecute Arizona workers. They put that in a letter as a theory to Washington, and the governor here got scared. That's what she said. But the feds never said that. Anyway, a few weeks ago, a judge chastised the state of Arizona for failing to take a side in their own lawsuit. And she said, I'll give you a few weeks, but I'm not happy about this. Anyway, a few weeks ago, she threw the lawsuit out. And the governor said she's not going to pursue it unless that prosecution risk becomes real. So now, dispensary applications are being accepted, and the director of the Arizona Department of Health Services says that there could be dispensaries as early as this summer. So very encouraging news that's happened recently. In addition, once Arizona sued the Department of Justice, no less than 6 entities sued Arizona for failing to implement its own law. So those have been going through the courts, and recently a Superior Court judge also chastised Arizona for failing to implement its own law. He ordered them to go ahead and do that and chastised them for the delay. In addition, some of the requirements for being a dispensary applicant were struck down, including it's okay if you filed for bankruptcy in the last few years. It's also okay if you're behind on child support payments and alimony. That got struck out. And also the residency requirements were either struck down or changed, I'm not sure, but it used to be you had to be a residency of Arizona for 3 years and file taxes during that time. So that's either gone or altered. So all that is very good news, and things are moving along in that direction. About 20,000 people in the state now have received medical marijuana cards from the Arizona Department of Health Services. There are about 1,000 caregivers in the state. They can grow for other qualified patients or themselves if they're a qualified patient. And it's still about 85–86% chronic pain and then a smattering of others. That has not changed. In addition, about 83% of people have checked the box that they want to cultivate themselves. So that's the major part of the update. I will mention one other thing, and I do this because it irks me of what has happened. The state legislature has put forth a bill that gives the Arizona Department of Health Services the right to report people who do more certifications than others. So for instance, they found that about 10 doctors in the state were doing most of the certifications. So just because, and I want to point out some analogies, just because a doctor is doing more of a certain specialty than another doctor does not mean they're doing something wrong. It is simply a statistical analysis that can be skewed. Great analogy. There are plenty of pain doctors here in Arizona who do high volume. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're seeing your patients, doing physical examinations, checking the State Pharmacy Board monitoring program, doing drug testing, and looking at individual diagnoses to make sure that the doses and everything are right, there are indications for those medications, and there's nothing inherently wrong just because they're seeing a high volume. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Let's take one more example. If you're a dentist sees a lot of TMJ patients, there's only so many of those around who are willing to take on those patients because they're difficult. But those patients require potentially chronic narcotic medications, and if they're seeing a lot of those, it might pop up that that doctor is writing more prescriptions than another. Statistically, is it then fair to single that doctor out, make them go in front of a medical board and explain their actions? No. That is a flawed bill on its face. So I just want to point that out because that's recently came up as well. Statistics can be skewed any way you do it, right? You can run these numbers and make it look like somebody's doing something wrong, when in actuality, they're just treating a subset of the population because that's what they're good at and that's what they've chosen to do. At any rate, Arizona MMC is the premier certification office in Arizona. We have doctors who are licensed, compassionate, knowledgeable. They will get your medical records at no charge. You can sign up for appointments online at arizonammc.com. The office will take pictures for photo IDs and help for nothing additional with the online state application. I'm David with Arizona MMC. Have a great evening.